The biker show Sons of Anarchy has been a real hit lately. Participation in such a successful show has only pushed the actors' careers forward. Watch our video and find out what happened to the cast after the end of the show. Whose apartment got burnt in an awful fire? Who isn't a real fan of motorcycles? Who's had 2 children? And before we start, we share new exciting celebrity videos every weekday. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Charlie Hunnam, aka Jax Teller. Charlie Hunnam played the leading part in Sons of Anarchy from the very beginning till the end. Jax Teller was the bad guy every girl dreamt to be with, and every man wanted to become. As for Charlie Hunnam, the British actor, has branched out and started working on movies since leaving Sons of Anarchy. One of the roles he is mostly well known for is Arthur in Guy Ritchie's King Arthur, Legends of the Sword, which also saw the likes of Game of Thrones' Aidan Fillon and Hulk's Eric Bana. However, straight after the Biker Gang series, he was in Crimson Peak as Dr. Alan McMichael, and then portrayed Perry Fawcett in The Lost City of Z. Lately, you could have seen him in Papillion, where he portrayed Henry Papillion Charrier. Apparently, Charlie Hunnam has been pretty busy during the last few years, but he's working on balancing his life, as he is considering getting married and having children in the future. Charlie Hunnam has been with his girlfriend Morgana McNeils for over a decade. Back in 2017, Charlie acknowledged that he stopped communicating with Morgana McNeils while working on The Lost City of Z, admitting that the movie was a bit too method. "I have an incredibly understanding girlfriend, who is requiring more and more as we get older that I figure out a way to balance these things a little better," he said. "I've gotten off pretty easily so far with being able to just disappear and be completely selfish and singular in my focus. But if we're going to start talking about having children and getting married, then I'm going to have to figure out a way to balance that a little bit more effectively." Maggie Siff, aka Dr. Tara Knowles. Maggie Siff is Jax's former girlfriend turned wife, Dr. Tara Knowles. Maggie has had a good career since leaving Sons of Anarchy. While still playing in the biker show, she was also in Mad Men, which she has kept going until 2015. She then starred in a few movies, like Fifth Wave, The Sweet Life, 1% More Human. Then she turned back to TV, where she portrayed Wendy Rhodes in Billions. This was her role for 2 years, ending this year. After the actress left the show in 2014, she had her daughter Lucy. Many of her Sons of Anarchy fans haven't quite recovered after her tragic end in the show's 6th season, thanks to all the deceptions and lies. When asked if she watched the season 6 finale, A Mother's Work, Maggie confessed that she made an exception about the finale. "I hate watching myself," says Maggie in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. "I honestly don't often do it, but I did want to see that episode just because it was the finale, in more ways than one for me, and I thought it was important to watch it put together." Katy Sagal, aka Gemma. As a fan of Katy Sagal, it was almost impossible to hate Gemma. Gemma was one of 2 characters to appear in every single episode. Since she's left the series, she's had a varied career. She keeps up her voice work, but she has also worked on TV shows and movies. One of her biggest parts after leaving was just a one-off guest star role in The Big Bang Theory. She was also a guest star in Brooklyn Nine-Nine and This Is Us, as well as portraying Vivian Pressman in the remake of Dirty Dancing. Most recently, you can see her in Superior Donuts. She is focused on comedy again. Katy has also joined the cast of Shameless in Season 9. Sagal is set to recur as Ingrid Jones, a psych patient that Frank, William H. Macy, encounters in the ER, and with whom he is immediately smitten. The American actress, who is now 61, is also a singer with 3 albums and a soundtrack to Sons of Anarchy to her credit. In real life, Katy is married to the showrunner of Sons of Anarchy, Kurt Sutter. "He's a rock star showrunner," says FX president John Landgraf fondly. "I really love Kurt. We've had our big blowout fights, but he doesn't go around unconsciously scorching the earth. He's extremely self-aware and willing to expose the more primitive and unsavory side of his personality. He's an artist. He's a provocateur. He's one of the most entertaining characters there is." Kurt and Katy first met at a coffee shop. She brought a friend just in case Kurt turned out to be a freak. "I didn't really know what it was going to be," she says, "but I was responding to him." She takes a moment before going on. "After that date, I kissed him. Was tongue involved? Might have been." The couple tied the knot a few years later, with him helping her raise her 2 kids from a previous relationship, and then their own child, daughter Esme. Ron Perlman, aka Clay Morrow. Ron Perlman has only been a part of 79 episodes of Sons of Anarchy, but he definitely made a major name for himself as Clay Morrow. He was a star and a guest star of a number of movies and TV shows since 2014, including 13 Sins, The Book of Life, and The Blacklist. Recently, you could have seen him in Hand of God, where he played Pernell Harris for 20 episodes between his departure from Sons of Anarchy and 2017. He then moved on to playing Wes Chandler in Startup for 10 episodes, and Sheriff Jack in Pottersville. Sons of Anarchy fans may be surprised to find out that series star Ron Perlman has admitted that he doesn't like motorcycles. On Instagram, Perlman shared a photo of himself and other cast members of the show sitting high atop their bikes. The caption below the photo shared the surprising news. "I gotta admit, I look pretty badass on the bike, pretty sexy, pretty gangsta. I also gotta admit, bikes don't like me, and it's mutual," Perlman wrote. Kim Coates, aka Tig Trager. Coates was one of the most well-known faces of the show, starring in the likes of Battlefield Earth, Resident Evil Afterlife, and Assault on Precinct 13 before having a recurring role in Sons of Anarchy. His role of Tig has made his acting career even more successful than before. Since his departure from the show, he's continued his work pattern, immediately picking up the likes of Hell on Earth and Pirate's Passage. In 2017, he appeared on TV again, starting with 6 episodes in the miniseries Bad Blood as Declan Gardner. Lately, he was in the short Fox comedy Ghost Wars, portraying Billy McGrath in all 13 episodes. The actor has an incredibly successful career, and it's hard to imagine that in his early years, he wouldn't even dream of such success. "I stumbled into this, right? I never saw a play in high school, didn't know what a soliloquy was, I had no clue about anything other than hockey. Being a proud Canadian boy, I knew sports," Coates told PopCulture.com Wednesday in a phone interview. "I did okay at school, but I stumbled into acting in college. I took an acting class for fun, to meet girls, to just have fun. I was going to be a history teacher." Kim has been together with his wife Diana for almost 35 years. Theo Rossi, aka Juan Carlos Ortiz. Theo Rossi took on the role of Juan Carlos Ortiz, also known as Juice. As a recurring role on Sons of Anarchy, Theo had small parts during the series. You can spot him on the likes of Luke Cage, Lie to Me, and Hawaii Five-0. After leaving the show, he continues to search for work, making at least a project each year. There's more for him in the future, too. He's already got 2 roles in the projects that are in the post-production stages, Vault and Ghosts of War. Outside a set, the actor leads a beautiful life with his stunning wife and children. Theo and Megan McDermott tied the knot in 2015. The couple enjoyed a private wedding ceremony and has been showering each other with lots of love since then, as is seen on their social media pictures. They welcomed their first son, Kane Alexander, a year later. Theo shared his excitement to E! News, saying, "We are so excited to start this new chapter in our lives as parents. My wife is doing great and my son Kane is perfect." Eventually, the couple was blessed again, as they welcomed their second baby a year ago. They named their second son Arlo Benjamin, and according to Daily Mail, Theo blushed with happiness while speaking about his second son. "My wife and I couldn't be happier or more grateful to welcome our son, Arlo Benjamin Rossi, into the world." Tommy Flanagan, aka Philip Chibs Telford. Tommy Flanagan was definitely one of the actors in Sons of Anarchy that you instantly recognized. Glasgow-born actor had been in a number of movies before his time on the show, including the likes of Braveheart and Gladiator. After leaving the series, he's certainly never been out of work. He played villains and shady characters, with one of his first after the series being Malcolm Black in ABC's Revenge for 3 episodes. He also appeared in an episode of Gotham and 4 episodes of Motive. You can recognize him by a number of movie roles. He played Tolk in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Sergeant McGregor in Sandcastle. This tough guy says he's enjoying his quiet life in Malibu far from his hard-living, hard-man screen image. Tommy says he gave up wild living to be a good dad and likes it that way. He lives with his producer wife Dina and daughter Anjanu in Malibu, California after giving up his party life. "I'm not a tough guy, I'm a family guy." Dre DiMatteo, aka Wendy Case. Dre DiMatteo appeared from the very start until the end, portraying Wendy Case, Jax's ex-wife and mother to son Abel. Like many other actors who also recurred on the series, she had a number of roles during her time on the show. Most recently, you could have seen her in Shades of Blue opposite Jennifer Lopez. At the same time, she also played in the movie Don't Sleep, portraying Joe Marino. On March 26, 2015, the actress had a big day ahead of her. The phone rang. Her friend Ginger called to tell the devastating news. DiMatteo's Manhattan home of 22 years was up in flames. She said, "Turn on the TV, your building's on fire," said the actress, speaking about the ordeal for the first time, exclusively to the Post. "I said, you're out of your freaking mind." Then, my children and I watched our house fall to the ground on television. "I lived most of my life in that apartment. I made beautiful memories there," Drea said. "I was a real East Village girl." She, her fiancé, musician Michael Devin, and the children are currently renting a downtown apartment and hope to eventually live in any neighborhood I can afford. Dayton Callie, aka Chief Wayne Unser. Scottish actor Dayton Callie portrayed the dirty cop, Chief Wayne Unser. He already was a big star when he came into the series, as he had starred in movies like Halloween 2, Deadwood, and had plenty of other roles. Since leaving the series, he had a small number of projects, but definitely slowed down. Dayton has one project coming up that is in the completed stage of production. He plays Lieutenant O'Shea in City of Lies, set for release later this year. Starring Johnny Depp and Forrest Walker, the movie focuses on the investigations into the deaths of Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel to get more inspiring, touching, and exciting life stories about your favorite stars.